Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title of this video, today I'll be telling you when is the best time to apply. Now, this is a very common question. I think people just generally don't know when is the right time to apply. So let's get into it. Now, in South Africa, we have 4 terms in school, right? First term, second term, third term, and fourth term. And we have 4, I guess, vacation or holidays, school holidays. In South Korea, there's only 2 holidays, but very long. So the first holidays come in August, late July, August, and you usually, depends on where you're teaching. Actually, you could be at a public school, you could be at an international school, you could be at Hagwon. It's different for everyone. But if you are coming with EPIK, they'll usually, actually, let me say Jeju specifically, because I don't know about other MOEs and POEs, which is the Provincial Office of Education. Ours in Jeju, they usually say you have to take 8 vacation days. Now, what they mean by 8, they just mean during the week. Obviously, you don't count the weekends. So if you include the weekends, you can get about 2 weeks, sort of. And then you just go to school and desk warm, which is another concept I'll make a video about one day, where you just go to school even though there are no kids and you have to go to school and just sit there. This is when people, brush up their Korean skills, you learn another language. But anyways, back to what this video is about. They close twice a year. So first vacation is late July, August. Second is late February, January. So the January intake is called the spring intake, and the August is called the fall intake. Now, generally speaking, both intakes are okay, and they have a large number of people anyways. I would say there's a lot of people coming at the beginning of year in February than August, but the numbers are still, large. They're okay. You choose obviously when you want to come, but I personally think the best intake is when the year begins. Now, this is because when the year is new, some teachers, Korean teachers and principals, everyone changes schools every 5 years or less. Whereas for us, we change schools, well, in Jeju specifically, we change schools twice every 2 years. And if you lucky, by some chance, you might stay at your school for 3 years, and this is when your school specifically asks the Office of Education that they want you to stay there. So I've been at my main school for 3 years now, which is not a common thing. But mostly when a year starts, it's not mostly, every time teachers only change in February. So in February, you'll get that there's more new teachers. There's obviously students are in a new grade, new classes. They also don't know each other, so they very well behave. They do know each other, but they're not familiar with everyone in the class, right? The textbook is new. You're starting the textbook from scratch. You also doing lessons, coming up with your classroom rules from scratch. It's very ideal. And that's when I came. I also came in the beginning of the year. I set my class rules. The students were new. I was new. There were new teachers. So it wasn't as intimidating. In the beginning of the year, they do also introduce every teacher introduces themselves in the staff meeting room. Before COVID, the teachers also go for monthly dinners, and it was fun. I think it was also free. I don't remember paying for any of the teachers' dinners, so that was fun, and that's something that we don't do anymore. And it was a great part of Korean culture, because we'd drink alcohol and everyone would be free, and I guess also teachers and principal will be more comfortable speaking English, so it was vibes, right? But because of COVID, I don't think it really matters when you come. But the reason why I prefer, or I would say apply for the February intake more, is because the August intake, you're coming in second semester when schools open. So you basically catching up on whatever the teacher that was there left the work. So they'll tell you the page number, like, hey, this is the last thing I taught. They tell you their rules. You decide if, okay, you want to carry on with how this teacher was disciplining them and how their point system worked. Because sometimes when you change, students could be angry because however they were accumulating points, they were supposed to be rewarded, but then you changing the whole system, you're like, oh, that doesn't count, I'm starting my new thing. But I think most teachers do wrap it up before they leave. But it's up to you. They'll tell you that, hey, this is what I used to do. That's if the teacher is even nice enough to update you, like, hey, I'm leaving, this is what I do, Some teachers just leave and, you have to figure it out on your own. And obviously when you're coming in mid-year, there's a vast comparison because they're comparing you to a teacher that they saw like last month. Whereas if it's a new year, everything is new. Even the students are not going to be like, huh? What's this? Because it's a new year. They probably just think, oh, it's a new grade. Maybe this is how things are done in English now, So I'm glad I came in February. I know like my partner came in November and he had a lot of adjusting to do. He was taking over a teacher and he had to like find his feet, what to take, what not to take, what to do, and it just takes a few months before you get on track. Now when you apply for EPIK, they'll usually tell you that there's a late intake. So if you get to the first positions, then you'll probably come to Korea on the 20 something, maybe 18th. That used to be orientation week. I'm not sure if they still have orientation or if it's strictly online because of COVID. I did find a guy who recently came to Korea during COVID and I will ask him all the questions. So please send down all your questions. I'll also make a poll or an Instagram story thing so that you can ask the questions and then I'll ask him and I'll make that video for you guys. But for now, let's just say you come a week before you're supposed to start, probably 2 weeks because you have to quarantine, especially if you're from South Africa. And yeah, so you come and then you teach. Your contract will start on the 26th of February because you get paid every 25th of the month. So they make sure that by the next month, like March 25th, you get paid like your full salary. Unlike, oh, I worked for 2 weeks here, I guess that was complicated. So all contracts starts on the 26th of February for that intake. Now late intake means maybe you start in March, maybe you start in April. It depends on when positions that teacher came in, because it's always a 1-year contract. Most of us starts in February, but there are those random slots there and there, and that's what late intake means. Sometimes it's even later than the normal. Like if you late initially for August, you start second semester, you start end of August, but you could start September or you could start October. I didn't know you could start in November until my partner got a slot in November. Now, how do you basically make sure that you get the position? I would say don't be fussy. You don't know Korea. Why choose? I don't know. People want to choose like, oh, I want to go to Busan, or I want to go here and here and here. For me, I just put flexible because I don't know Korea and I was very open-minded to whichever part of Korea I would get. And also I just wanted to leave South Africa. And I wouldn't have known Jeju. I probably would have came to Jeju to visit. I don't even know if I would have came, to be honest, because I don't leave Jeju. So I'm very comfortable in wherever I'm placed. And yeah, I wouldn't know Jeju. So I'm glad that I put flexible on my application and I got to get to live on an island, and it's really, really fun. So my other advice is that make sure that you are open-minded in your application. There's also a part where they ask you if you want to be considered for the late intakes. Also check that even if you don't get the February slots directly where everyone is coming, because that's the main difference, that the big intake, February and August, you have this huge orientation where everyone is at, and before COVID, that was a thing. That's why you'd feel left out, because everyone will be just talking about, hey, I got my documents and all of this, and you'll feel like, oh my gosh, but some people don't have an orientation. These are the late intakes because you're just the only person. Probably have to do it online, or you have to go to the next year's intake, which sucks because you've already started teaching, but you still have to do it because every EPIK teacher has to do it. So with that being said, when is the best time to apply? Applications open and it takes around 6 months to do the whole thing, because you have an interview, you have documents, you have your visas, it's just a lot. So when February intake comes to Korea, then the August intake applications are open. When August intake come to Korea, like now it's September, then for next year February the applications are open. So make sure that you apply either or. If you want to come in February, then you start applying in August. If you want to come in August, then you start applying in February. It's that simple. But that doesn't necessarily mean like now it's September, you cannot apply. You can keep applying August, September, October. EPIK just works on a first come basis. So everyone sends their applications, and you look at your lesson plan, and these are things, how do you create a lesson? These are things people ask me. A lesson is taught through your TESOL certificate, and I do work with a company where I would advise you guys to get your TESOL certificate. It's less than 500 Rand, which is the cheapest ever. I'll link it up here and I'll put it in the description bar. Just click on the link, you'll see my name, Palesa J, with a code, and you should get a discount. They teach you how to lesson plan, how to be a teacher, because obviously most of us didn't even study education. I don't have a teaching degree. I actually have a computer science degree, so it's not even related to what I'm doing right now. Actually, low-key is, because we do use a lot of technology, and my background makes me finish my work quickly, and I can add animations and stuff. I make it more fun or more appealing because I know how to do those things. So make sure that you gather all your documents. What I did, I knew I was applying in August, so in February I started gathering everything besides the criminal record. The criminal record is where they check your fingerprints and stuff, but it has to be less than 6 months or 3 months. I forgot. I think it's 3 months. Let's say 3 months to play safe. That's the one documents that I didn't do, so that as soon as I passed my interview, then I sent my documents and everything was ready, and I got the job. And I actually applied pretty late, I think October. But I was flexible. So some people are very rigid in where they want to stay, and they could make you lose a position because you just want to go, let's say, to Busan. You're like, I want to go to Busan no matter what, and then there's 5 of us who are like, hey, I'm flexible, I can go wherever, and they give us the positions. So you could lose a position. But if you do know a friend or family that lives in that area, and you admin that you want to go to that area, then I'd say definitely put it down, because even my partner definitely put down Jeju, and he got Jeju because a lot of people don't put Jeju on their applications anyways. It would have been more difficult if I was living in Seoul and he had to try and move to Seoul too. That's the advice. Try to get out all your documents. If you're wondering what documents, where do I even start, I have a video talking about all the documents, and I give you examples and I show you the type of documents you need, and I'll link that video right up here. Make sure that you check it out, and I hope I answered your question. If you have made it this far in the game where you passed your initial stage, because if your lesson plan is good, then you are granted an opportunity to get to the interview stage. Not everyone gets that far, so if you are waiting to get your EPIK interview, then congratulations. It doesn't mean You know, it doesn't matter if you make it or not. You've gotten that far, so you know what to work on next time. Your application or your part of teaching is great, so if you fail, try again, you know, and the next time you try, just be calm and be more poised, be more confident. I'm pretty sure you'll get it the next time around. Anyways, I hope I was clear and I hope I didn't ramble too much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you next time. Peace.